thank you for joining me again on Carpathian Countryside for episode 9 with me, MrSealyp. It's July 2, people. Here on Carpathian Countryside, always read the small print. That's my advice. At the end of the last episode, I did what I said I was going to do. So the rest of July 1, or did I move into July 1? Whichever way around. July 1, I said about doing all the contracts I'd get my hands on and to see how much money I could potentially make over the course of a year. And here's the weird thing about it. Having started off saying all the stuff I'd said about it didn't sit right with me not doing the contracts available, I did a whole load of contracts. And what's going to come up in a moment, I'm going to put the screenshot up of all the contracts. I did 9 contracts. Those 9 contracts totaled 142,000, which is why our money's up to 866,000. And it didn't sit right with me. I don't know which way to go anymore. I'm so confused as a human being. I suppose because I've gone down the rabbit hole now of doing what I've been doing. But we have another problem, and this is why I say always read the small print. We are 1 step forward, 2 steps back, because the local Kraj, the regional governing body for the area, contacted me late yesterday to let me know that when we took on, or I took on, rebuilding the farm here, the proviso, part of the contract, the deal that was struck, was that the field opposite was only available for 2 seasons. We don't own it. We never owned it. It wasn't ours. So whilst we did very well out of it, and I've put over 10, 12 hours on a couple of my harvesters harvesting that field, and we've paid off the loan, which is brilliant. I mean, that's a fantastic position to be in. If we now go to here, we no longer own it. Yeah. So we have a problem now. Because my plan of, we've got that field, let's buy another field, let's expand. We've got, at the time, 700,000, 840,000. We can replace our machinery. We can do. Nope, can't do that now. Because what we've got to do is buy a field. And as you already know, field prices are not cheap. However, looking at what's available, what's been planted, if we go across to our growth, I'm thinking, you know, I said about doing sugar beet. We've got some sugar beet fields here. It's going to take a big chunk of our money, which means we'll have to lease machinery when it comes to harvest. The other thing it's going to mean is we're going to have to go and do soil samples on the field, check to see what it's going to need. If it's already growing, we're probably not going to be able to lime it. And I'm not sure, depending on its growth stage, we might get away with fertilizing. But we can try it, I guess. At the end of the day, you know, if it will let me do either, both, whatever. The weed situation, that's a good point. Let's have a look at our weed situation. No weeds on there at the moment, but that's good. But I mean, we might have to go and spray at some point. So what I'm thinking is, it's one of these 4. I don't want to go for that really small one. I'm just thinking we might get enough sugar beet off there to do all right. But price-wise, 500 grand, blimey, 480, 541, 531. I mean, that's near the farm. That's out the back of the farm. I'm just thinking of going somewhere different because we've done a lot of stuff around this field. I'm thinking maybe out here. Or do I want to do? No, I don't know now. That's a little bit cheaper, but it's going to be... Is it smaller? What's that? 6.95 hectares. Oh yeah, that's 7.3. 8.14. 7.82. I'm doing it. Let's buy that one. So now we're back down to 334,000. That's not an amount to be sniffed at. That's okay. We've got some money, you know. It will allow us to lease bits of equipment and stuff that we need to. Am I going to pick up the odd contract moving forward? I might do, but I'm not going to do what I said I was. You know, that whole. I'll be honest with you. It took me, well, an entire day to do those contracts, and I leased equipment. So some of the money I earned, I had used some money to lease equipment rather than borrow all the farm's equipment from them. But what the other good thing about it is over here at our silo, the contracts I took on. I haven't showed you the screen, have I? I'll put the screen up. Yeah, we did a few. So if we get over to here, where's it going to show us? Right, so we have got out of this. We had some barley from a contract we did before, didn't we? But now we're sitting on 38,000 litres of barley. We've got some canola left over from a couple of canola contracts, 27,000 litres, a little bit of oat, a little bit of wheat. So we have got some crop sat in here, which is a bonus from that. And the other thing was one of the baling. How many baling contracts did I do? I think there were 4. I did 3 of the 4. I was going to sell all of the bales, but I decided to keep some as well. So we have upped our bales as well. So we're now up to 494 bales. Me saying at the end of the last episode, I haven't got to worry about anything now with regard to bales. I won't have to do any more. I couldn't help myself. I was going to do the baling contracts anyway for the money, and then thought, well, if we've got these bales spare, we'll stick them in storage. So I've got to go over, grab a tractor. We'll go and get the. I'm going to lease one of those Axary soil samplers, and we'll do what we did before. We'll get a slightly larger diameter or radius, whichever, and we'll do that. So I'll see you over at the store in a moment. We'll grab that, we'll do that, we'll check on the situation once we've got the soil samples, and we'll look at what we can do about liming and fertilising it. But yeah, so you know, I mean, it's not a bad thing, I suppose. You know, we had kind of leapt ahead, and I was all ready for that kind of right bang, let's expand. You know. I do want to address a couple of questions, and I think I did on the Edgewater one, but not everyone's watching the Edgewater one. Some people watch this, some people watch that, some people watch all of them, some people just watch my mod reviews. It depends what you're watching. It was someone had messaged me to say that I should speed up time. We've had that conversation before about speeding up time. Add in more days, but speed up time. And also said it seems a little bit ridiculous that I'm getting so much work done in 2 days or 1 day. But what you've got to remember is, if I'm set on 2-day months, 1 day represents half a month. That's what I've always said, it's a microcosm of real life. So whilst I might do that entire field and get it done in 3 or 4 hours, what you've got to remember is, if 1 day is half a month, those 3 or 4 hours might equate to a couple of days. So technically it has taken me a couple of days to do that harvest, but condensed down into my 2-day months. And what was the other thing as well? Oh yeah, it was about my philosophy on expansion of farms and jumping ahead. And a few people said this. There was a lot of conversation in my Discord about it, and you know, I read the comments and I take on board stuff. I've said that before about my need or desire to expand as quickly as I can, to make as much money as I can, as quickly as I can, and get up to bigger machinery. The thing you have to remember is, when you're doing a Let's Play or a story or whatever you're doing, you've only got a certain amount of episodes to show progress. And for a few people that would happily just sit and watch me using the same machinery all day long, over and over again, for 3, 4, 5, 6 in-game years, we might not ever make much progress, but we're doing a bit of farming. There are a load more people that want to watch and see progress. They want to see the change in the farm. They want to see you buy more land. They want to see you expand to do different jobs, to get livestock to do. So I try to do as much as I can, as many different jobs as I can, and do as much as I can that's available within the game itself. And you've got that trade-off that if you're not showing progress, people can get bored. If you show too much progress, people then say, oh, it's happening too quickly. You've got to find a balance. And like I say, if you're doing a Let's Play, I'm not in that luxurious position of people like Dagwin, who might do a 70-episode survival series. Normally when I'm getting to episode 30, well, not even that, sometimes episode 20, it depends, people start drifting away because they're like, okay, we're sort of done with this map now, can we move on to something else? But there might be a few people that would happily sit and watch for 70 episodes. So I have to kind of balance how I do it. So I have a limited amount of time to make progress. You know, does that make sense? I don't want to, you know, like I say, I'm not. I think people seem to get the impression when they were talking on my Discord that I was angry about stuff, and you know, like I said, I do read comments, and sometimes people are polite and friendly and nice, and sometimes people are rude and horrible, and you know, you kind of have to find that happy medium within that, and it's not always easy. I've had that conversation before. Depending on your mental health, how you're feeling, how tired you are, you can react positively to comments, you can react badly to comments. It depends which ones you focus on. I don't always respond, and I don't always show, but I do read through and I do have a look and see what the sort of the general mood is. But again, it's the vocal few. I might have 5,000 people watch an episode, I might only have 200 comments. So of those 5,000 people, 200 people decided to comment. Of those 200, there might be 10 really negative comments. That's 10 people out of 5,000. But like I've said before, that's kind of what you focus on, you know. I don't. So it's I'm feeling kind of upbeat and a bit more positive, you know, about things, you know, generally. Like I said, I alluded to a few episodes ago something that's been happening in my life at the moment, and again, I'm not going to go into detail because it's private and personal for the family and for the person involved within our family. It's been rough. It's been a rough few weeks, and I have struggled to be motivated. I've struggled to stay positive. It's been quite a... Sorry, I don't want to get upset. It's been quite a difficult few weeks. So, yeah. Right then, trailer's gone, and I've got one of these. Well, I think, did I go for 130? I did, didn't I? I think that's what I went for last time, didn't I? I thought 200, I mean, I could do 260. It'll probably do the field in 2, I suppose, but what we need to do is open that up. We can check on the map as well, which we probably will do. And we are looking at... field, is it? Field 6, which is just coming up, right, and now. So we have that one open, and you can see exactly, oh wow, that actually gives you the complete radius of where we're going to be. I didn't notice that before. I just kind of went on a wing and a prayer. That's actually better. So if you have it on that, it's too small, and so is that, you can't tell. But because we've got, normally if you use the standard one, you can see the radius within that, but that is perfect. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go up because that's the trackway. Oh, actually, I'm going to get this done in 2, aren't I? I suppose because field 9 was so much bigger. I probably could have got this. Oh no, I've probably lost the bottom corner now, so it might take 3. Got a bit of overlap there, but that's all right. Let's go with that. So we need to lower it. Frustratingly, I don't think it's going to be in 4, isn't it? I don't think we're going to get much higher on that. Maybe about there. I'll try that. Can I? No, it's going to leave a little bit out one corner, isn't it? Oh, that's so annoying. There. Oh no, we might be alright. Hang on, about there. Now, how do I send these off? L1 and triangle. Source samples are now sent to the laboratory. Awesome. Right. So I'll wait for the results to come back on that. And then we will get the... Yeah, see, I don't think we can't... I mean, really, we shouldn't be able to lime over the top. I don't know if it will let me or not. There you go, 300. That's pretty good, isn't it? I don't even know if it let me. You shouldn't lime over a crop that's already out of the ground. But we should get away with a spray now, shouldn't we? Again, I'm not... we should do. I know in the first growth stage and second growth stage, if you're running it normal without precision farming, you can. But... and again, there'll be lots of people shouting at the screen because they've done it and they know. And I just normally do it all on a clear field. I don't normally do this when I've already got a crop growing, so this is a little bit different. But this is a fair sized field, and we'll get a fair bit of sugar beet off this, won't we? Only problem being, I haven't got a lot of money, so it's going to be sugar beet harvest. I might get a trailed one. How long do you think that would take? What was this one? 7.8 hectares trailed. A week. Anyway, I'm going to go back and we'll grab lime spreader and lime and try that next, I suppose. Hey, I know I'm doing the same jobs I've done before, but we're doing it on a different process because we've already got a crop growing. We'll see. Shouldn't really be driving over these crops like this anyway. I went to fill up my lime spreader and realised I didn't have any lime left, so I've had to go out to the store and buy some lime. I've also taken on, I know, stupidly, I don't know what I was thinking, I took on that harvest contract that was there for canola, clicked on borrow equipment and say, well, why am I borrowing equipment when I've got 4 harvesters sat in my garage? I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so the equipment's at the store. It's a slightly larger, I think it's an ideal. It might be a 70. Anyway, so yeah, what I'll do when I finish doing the field stuff, I'll get that out to the field and I'll start on that canola harvest and I'll get that done. Just a bit of extra money in while it's sitting there, and we'll see how we get on. This episode feels a lot more relaxed because the jobs I'm doing aren't ones that are going to take me 4 or 5 hours. It's not so bad because I know I can get it all done fairly quickly. I've just topped up the liquid fertilizer. Actually, I don't know how much liquid fertilizer we've got left in that tank, you know. When we first arrived, there was some in there. And mind you, it only fills up 1,000 litres at a time. And because we're doing precision farming, we're not getting through a huge amount. I love the straps on this as well. That is proper belt and braces, isn't it? Let's have a quick look, because I honestly can't remember how much was in it at the start. And using 1,000 litres at a time, we can't have used that much, surely, but we'll have a look. Okay. We're down to a lost 302 litres. Okay, well, we're going to run low on that, aren't we? So from the other jobs that we've done where we've been buying things, we have got a bit of seed. Oh, hang on, is that lime? No, it's not, is it? We've got some solid fertilizer. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see how we go. I thought I'd use this one. I haven't used this for a while. I'm assuming whoever had this before resprayed it from the Zetor kind of red that we're used to. There we go, let's top this up. I can always unload anything I don't use, but like I say, It should work, but I don't know. Like I said, we probably shouldn't be driving over the crop, but needs must when the devil's at your doorstep. Or I could probably put some fuel in this as well. That's the other thing as well. I don't know how much diesel we've got left in our tank. Do we have a cover on this? We do. I keep saying this. I'm sure the suspension's broken on this. It seems very odd. What's this looking at? Oh, huh? It's empty. Okay, I think we can. I'm sure there was a point somewhere here where we could refill. We could get someone out to put some in. There we go. We don't want that much or that much. Probably not that much either. 1,000 litres? 2,000 litres. We're using it. In all honesty, the K700 will. I'm using that every time I do a harvest. But what would be a good idea? Having just filled up would actually put some in the tractor, wouldn't it? There we go. Topped up and ready to rock and roll. I'm not sure what to do about the cow situation yet. We have got all the stuff to make the Solving's ration, but yeah, I've got some constituent parts from doing the harvests for doing pigs as well, but not everything. I don't remember just pulling this so slowly. It's 5,000 litres in it. It's not that heavy, but I've got to go uphill as well. I might be better off going across the field. We'll see what happens. Right, let's open that up. Because I honestly can't remember. It was so long ago when the precision farming stuff, sort of, we were first looking at it, and I did all my videos on it. But I'm pretty sure I don't remember trying it like this. Oh, I suddenly thought, oh no, it's a message on my car. I've got to unfold that here. Is it that? No. That. Okay. Well, it is letting me do it. Like I say, I probably shouldn't do over the top of a crop. If I look bottom left, it is letting me. So, at the end of the day, I'm using a lot more than I thought we were going to. But then it looks like, because of the soil type, it's going to require a fair bit on this first section at least. No, I don't. Top left, it's not showing a huge amount of increase. But well, at least it's let me do it. That's the main thing. So we'll get this on, then I'll go and grab the liquid fertilizer sprayer. Hopefully we'll spray that, and that should then give us a fairly good yield off of this sugar beet when we get around to harvest time. I wasn't, because originally I thought if I was going to do sugar beet, because I've missed the planting window, as soon as I found out we didn't have access to that field anymore, I thought, okay, I'm going to have to wait now all the way around to the next planting window, do the planting, and then go all the way around to harvesting again. But as it turns out, there are some, as you've already seen, there were some fields with sugar beet in them already, so it's actually worked out pretty good. Ah, that bottom section was a bit I missed, and this section up here hasn't got any data for it. Yeah, because I missed a soil sample on that corner. Okay, not the end of the world. Which, to be fair, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because this is one of those maps where you look at the fields and you look and think, oh, they're really expensive, but they are fairly big fields. Even the small fields, and you look at them and think, well, that's a small field, I need something bigger. The small fields aren't that small. So, you know, this one, yeah, it's a fair size field. I think I'm going to go and buy a load more lime. I'm still buying those bags from the multi-crop greenhouses, is it? 8,000 litre bags. I've got two 8,000 litre bags. We've used 5,000 litres in this already. I've missed this corner as well. That's alright. So I suppose from that respect, depending on the shape of your field, there's something to be said for having the soil sampler in a smaller diameter. But for ease of use and less samples, the bigger the better, I suppose. I don't know, depends how you view it. Anyway, so liming. Let's get her done. Well, we are getting through it pretty rapidly, I'm not going to lie. So I've sent one of the workers back to the store and they've bought another 4 bags on top of the 2 we had. So I think we've got about 43,000 litres sitting on that trailer now. I don't even know if that'll be enough. Might be. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? The small bag, or so the small bag, the bag we use some out of is this corner in front of us. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'll just pull up and we'll use whatever we need to. But I shall now crack on, as I said I was going to. I'll go up this side and yeah, get on with it. I might do another couple of strips top and bottom, so we've got a headland and I can just go up and down and turn around as I need to. I like the sound of this little Zetor, it's brilliant. Have I mentioned that before? Probably. Liming is done, and I think we might be. I think on the back of the trailer I've got 2 bags left, but I think they equal just over 8,000 litres. So I think I was 1 bag over what we needed, which in all honesty I'm quite happy with. What I'll probably do is I'll fill this up, then unload from this into pallets rather than bags. That way, because apart from the telehandler up at the store. I don't own a telehandler, skid loader or anything like that over here. I suppose I could get a front loader. Has it got a front loader attached? It has. I could get a front loader for this, I suppose, couldn't I? And then what I'll do is I'll take the sprayer out, but we've only got 1,000 litres in that and the 300 litres left in the tank there. And then we've got 3,000 litres, and one of those might not be full, of solid fertilizer, which I think I can put in this. So we might be okay, but I might have to go and get some more to do that. Again, we shall see. So what I'll do, and then I can just shuffle these all around. Release this all off the trailer and done. Oh no, there we go. I should have 1 bag left on there. Excellent. Do that and that. Each one of those is 2,000, so it would be 2,000 and a bit, or 2,000. 2 of them would be full and 1 will have a bit. I guess I could combine these to make it a little bit more efficient, couldn't I? Brilliant. So let's switch that over. Let's get out and get cracking with this, and then once we run out of this, we'll move on to the solid fertilizer. Wow, this is a real hodgepodge of everything I can throw at it, isn't it? I do want to invest in a bigger sprayer. I said about that one I've been using when I do the herbiciding, the one that does precision farming spot spraying. I think it's, what did I say, it was 70 odd grand, and it was my intention before we lost control of the other field to buy one, which I suppose we still could do to make jobs like this a bit quicker, although actually we haven't got any more liquid fertiliser. So the other thing I'm going to have to do is look at how expensive it's going to be to get someone to bring us, and we can go and buy liquid fertiliser, I can go and get pallets of it, but if we can get someone to come and fill that tank up, that'll make life a little bit easier, but that'll be a chunk of money. That's why I'm thinking taking on a couple of contracts here and there, as I have done. Where is it? I've lost it. Oh, there. So something like doing that baling, I don't necessarily want to do the baling contract, but the cultivating contract, I can then go to that tank, I can get a company in and just get 9,000 litres of, mind you, I'll have to take off the cost of this, so whatever I got paid for it, if it worked out to be 8,000 or, you know, get 8,000 euros worth of liquid fertiliser. So rather than doing the contracts now, like I said, to do as many as I can over the year and see how much money I could make, literally pick these up to replenish my stocks of fertiliser. And you know, my seed's okay at the moment, and the lime's not too bad, but I think that liquid fertiliser one might not be a bad idea. And then potentially a couple of contracts. If I get another one come up for like 30-40 grand, I might do one, because that's a big chunk of money towards buying that sprayer. And if you haven't been watching the rest of the episodes, go back to the start. It's always good to go back to the start. But these ones here, they're under the precision sprayer pack mod. So that one there, got that and that together. So at the moment that's looking at 39,500, but that one, if you put weed spot spraying on for doing your herbicide, that adds another 39 grand on. So that's 73 grand, and then the front tank. So I need a bit of extra money before I do that, I think. Into the green. Wowzers. Look at the top left. From where the field is to where it needs to be for sugar beet and loam. Whoa, that's a massive amount. I think we're going to find ourselves onto the solid fertiliser fairly quickly. What I'll do is I'll use the solid fertiliser up. If I'm still not done that field, then I'll buy some. I'll get some liquid fertiliser in on that tank, and then I'll do that harvest contract to cover the cost of that. That's the best bet, I think. Well, at least it's done both. That's the main thing. So the field, I mean, obviously I haven't mulched it because the crop was already in it, so I haven't done any mulching before crop went in. And when the seed got put in, it hasn't been rolled. So no mulch and no roll. What's that, 5% each? So our potential yield will be down a little bit, but having done the liming and now doing the nitrogen application, it's going to be far higher than it would have been if I'd just left it. And then, like I say, then we need to make sure we knock weeds on the head as soon as we get any weeds, because I don't want any weeds in it either. Yeah, okay, well, one bit high pitch. Well, I've got no information for the corners, so we'll put a little bit down, but possibly a little bit randomly. Happy days are here again. Well, you've guessed it. It's audiobook time. I just thought, if I'm going to run out of liquid fertiliser anyway, I've got more tractors, I might as well put the solid fertiliser on it as well. Get a worker on one and I do the other one. Rather than wait for one to finish and then start the next, it makes more sense to get it done. Oh, there we go. I knew one of them wasn't full. I don't know how far that's going to go either, but I gave the tractor a bit of a wash. When I took it over to the store, I was driving back thinking, blimey, this thing's filthy. I think the other one is as well. To be fair though, repair-wise, they're actually all not looking too bad at the moment. I've kind of been doing running repairs as I've been going along every now and again, but nothing too drastic. It's probably why the fuel tank's empty as well, because when I've been coming back, I've just been topping off the tanks on each one as I go, so I guess that's probably why. Drop that down. Let's go. Oh, that's a little bit wider than it is for the lining, that's good. There we go, we'll blitz through this now, won't we? Who needs big machinery when you've got small machinery and lots of time? What better way to spend a Sunday? MrSealyp's still away, she went away for four days? Went away Thursday, she's back on Monday. Just to go up and see her aunt for a few days, so I've been kind of left to my own devices a little bit. I've said this before, it's weird, I'm one of those people I really get on with my wife, you know, so when she goes away it's not like, oh brilliant, she's gone away, I can do what I like. I really do miss her being about. It's not weird, but you know, we do get on. We've got some good stuff coming up, hopefully. Because we are going to FarmCon. I know I have mentioned that. I haven't wanted to keep going on about it, but we should be meeting up with some YouTubers and stuff, and it should be quite fun. And there's a whole load of stuff that Giants have kind of got planned, I think, for us. But MrSealyp's coming with me, so we're hoping to do a little bit of kind of vlogging. We might do some live streaming. It depends on internet connections and those kind of things. I might even do a couple of interviews. Again, there's nothing set in stone. It's going to depend on timetables and what's happening from Giant's side and who's available when and where. And but I know when I went to the first one, people like Creative Mesh with their realismus modding, there was, you know, and more YouTubers go all the time now, so we might get a chance to do a few chats, interview type things maybe. Yep, this is running down really quickly as well. We are definitely going to get some more liquid fertilizer. Okay. Why did it not do this bit? Probably because there's no data for it. Well, this is a bit of a step up from our Bizon, isn't it? We're doing a contract for Stanislav and heading out past Jenny's Old Stones, which is just here, out to field 36. That's good timing. So all the work on our field is done, and actually, yeah, we'll go to, there we go, onto that. So pH golden, nitrogen golden, go up one, crop type and growing. So yeah, bit of a change in tack, but a necessary one. It is what it is, I guess. So yeah, we'll head out to field 36. It is 36, yeah. I've taken on that cultivating one. The money has gone down a little bit again. I did run out of solid fertilizer and liquid fertilizer in both of them. So we had 5,000 litres of liquid fertilizer delivered at a cost of 6,600. So this one, or the cultivating contract I've taken on, will cover the cost of that and a little bit more. So one of these, probably the cultivating one, like I said, all the money from that, I'll get some more liquid fertilizer delivered into that tank. So it's only going to be another couple of thousand litres, maybe. No, not a couple of thousand. If I use all that money, well, it depends if I replace the money I've spent, or whether I just do the whole lot with some more. I don't know, I'll decide. I'm sure as we move into August 1, we'll probably have some more contracts to do anyway, so it depends what I decide to do, whether I'm going to pick any up. I might do an episode where I just pick up a few contracts and do them, whereas I, generally speaking, do them off camera, or I start them on camera then do them off camera. I might do an episode where I pick off 3 or 4 and we do all of them on camera, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. We'll try. Right, I think we're coming up on it now. So, now this is on a header trailer, so I suppose I can do it from here, can't I? Actually, no, I'll be in the way of the lorry. What I'll do, yeah, we've got a lorry and a trailer as part of this contract, so we will switch to that, open that up, beacons off, swing that round out of the way. It's not a massive header, but it's a fair size. It's not a huge field either, actually. I thought, hang on. Yeah, that's the right one. I'm not anticipating having any canola left over at this one. If there is, it might only be a 3,000–4,000 litres, maybe a little bit more than that. Because like I say, it's not a big field. And I might just sell it all. We have got a little bit in storage, but not massive amounts. So we'll get on with it. Yeah, blimey, this is such a big difference, isn't it? From those Bizons. Oh dear. That sort of the clanking and rattling and running 4. This shouldn't take too long. As well as the fact if we go to here and we're now, where are we? There, field 32 compared to field 9. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of sort of not 32, 36. I kind of got so used to, I mean, that's 4 times the size of this one. So it should only take a quarter of the time. Probably less than that with this actually, rather than running 4 separate harvesters that need to be unloaded every 2 minutes once they're full up. So yeah, we should be alright. But there we go. All done, all prepped, all good to go. Moving off in a slightly different direction, but that's all good. I'll have a look. There's not a lot of beet harvesting equipment available. I mean, there is some. There's some trailed stuff. It's one of those areas where, other than the Chris S, Riley S Colossus pack that's got the hyper duper super, I don't know which is that, super duper and hyper, my dad used to say hyper duper, and the kids loved it. He was always making words up and doing silly stuff, but anyway, channeling my dad there, that's cool, I like that. Well, so yeah, it's one of those areas where, other than those really, you've got the self-propelled harvesters, which still only have like 4 metre headers, or trailed stuff which has like a 1.8 or a 2 metre header. There's nothing really modded that's been put in that's changed that? I guess because in the real world there isn't. I guess that's probably the reason why. But so I'm not sure we've got options there, whether or not we just bite the bullet and say, look, let's just fork out and get something a bit bigger with a larger capacity, or do I just accept the fact that because I've got 3 tractors, I could technically lease 3 trail behind beet harvesters, but then I've got to look at, I suppose that's the thing, we'll look at the cost, because if leasing 3 of them trail behind at potentially 2 metres each could cost more in the long run than just leasing a bigger self-propelled beet harvester. We'll weigh it up and have a look. We've got a long way to go until we get to that point anyway. So there we go. The end of another episode. We are in a different part of the map, which I like. It has forced us to move into other areas. I think I was kind of, yeah, it would have just become a series of just going, not an entire series, but just going backwards and forwards and doing that field over and over again. Which I guess when you first start out on a map, if you've only got a field, depending on the size as well, and that was a big field, in all honesty, we were lucky in that respect that we had a very big field to start off with. Had we had a much smaller field, it would have taken us far more years, far more harvest, like prep and harvest cycles to pay off the debt before we could move into anywhere like having our own money. So that's kind of where we find ourselves now. So that thing of very quickly we'll be able to replace all 4 harvesters, that's not going to be the case, I don't think. But we'll see. With the sugar beet, we might find we make an absolute ton of money. I can't remember if there's a sugar mill on the map or not. And if there is, it might be worth doing that, because I remember when I did Calmston, the sugar beet and sugar beet cuts, we could do half and half, or do some options there. We made an absolute fortune on sugar because it was producing so much. So yeah, that's an option. I say a fortune. On the scale of things, a fortune. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.